Hey, what's up, you guys? Century Productions here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Mattel The Watchmen comedian figure. So here I got the comedian figure. I would like to thank Shartimus Prime for lending me this figure. He's actually going to give it to me after I'm done reviewing it here. Cause he's, so that's really cool. So thanks for letting me review that. Also, while we're on the topic of thanking people, I'd like to thank Al Figures for giving me this super sick backdrop. Probably the coolest piece of art I've ever seen in my entire life. Just blows anything else out of the water. So big thanks to Al for setting that up. And I'm actually at Shartimus Prime's place right now filming this review with all of his lights, his equipment, so that's really cool. So thanks for that, man. But let's get into this figure. But before I actually start talking about the figure, I want to go over the packaging because it's got a couple really cool features, and it's just really badass. So let's check that out real quick. Alright, so here we got the packaging. Just so you guys know, this was a Black Freighter Club exclusive. You had to subscribe to them through Mattel in order to get these figures. Shartimus actually got them through his friend Chip, so thanks, Chip. I don't know who you are, but you're the man. So anyways, this is the outer box. This is really cool packaging. Of course, you got the Doomsday Clock right here. Comedian, blah, blah, blah. You see what's going on there. Adult collector, so all you kids better stay out of the way because you're not allowed to play with these. On the side here, you'll see like a little profile of who watches The Watchmen. So when you actually complete all 6 figures, you can get all the boxes together and you can see who watches The Watchmen across, which is really cool, and you'll see a pic of that right here. So that's really cool. You can also turn them around, and it looks like there's some sort of bullet hole design, which is really cool. So for an outer box, this is really cool. You just open it from the top, and inside you got this really neat piece of plastic right here, which actually kind of makes it look like the Watchmen book, which is really cool. And you can see there's another picture of the comedian on the side there, which is really cool. And you open this up. There's a couple things you get. You get a lot of bang for your buck with this figure. You get like, I'm not sure what this is. This is still taped in there. Once again, it's not my figure, but it looks like some sort of maybe instructions or just like some artwork or something cool like that, which is really nice. Of course, it does come with the Watchman stand right there, and this is where the figure would be, and then that's where his flamethrower would be. So overall, really nice packaging. And like I said, I mean, just for getting the one figure, it looks like you're getting a lot of accessories and some cool packaging. So let's jump to the figure. Alright, so here I have the comedian figure standing next to one of the first subscription figures, which was Rorschach. And you can just see how high he stacks up next to Rorschach. They look really good together. They look even better as a set, which is really cool. It looks like the comedian's just your standard DC Universe Classics body that they've been coming out with for years. Maybe the front diaphragm is a little bit different, and that's changed over the years too. So you can see how tall he is next to the Rorschach. But let's jump into this figure. Like I said, a lot of cool accessories. Some of them are removable, some of them are not. But as far as articulation, you're not seeing anything different here. It's the same stuff that's been coming out for years. But one of the first accessories you'll see is this flamethrower he's got right here from when he was in Vietnam. It doesn't look like there's any shading on here. It looks like it's just a clear coat of plastic. But once again, it's a really cool accessory, and that kind of pegs into the back right here, you can see. And then there's like a little wire running down right here into the flamethrower. You got to be careful with this part right here, though. It's not too solid, so you're not gonna. It's gonna bend a little bit, but I mean, as long as you manipulate it the right way, you should be fine. The only thing that's kind of weird is it looks like he's got 2 handles right here, and this one's got the trigger on it. Too bad that this hand right here doesn't have the trigger fingers, so you can't really put that in there, and it's kind of awkward if you stick his right hand in there because it pushes it so far back. But as far as an accessory goes, I think that's really cool. You can see he's got these 2 guns on the sides. His was it the guns that he got from one of the presidents, Nixon, I believe. Those are not removable. But there's lots of really cool details following the figure throughout it. Like I said, you can take off the flamethrower, and that's real easy. It just kind of falls off. So the other accessory is this shotgun, which you'll see from the rioting scenes in the movie as well as the graphic novel. Really nicely detailed shotgun. You can see there's some silver spray right there. Let me get the light on it. So you can see there's some silver in there, and it's just really nicely sculpted. And it looks like there's some wood type of paint on there. If I could get the light on it, kind of looks like it's a wood grain effect, which looks really nice. I think this is a really cool accessory. One of the things that bummed me out though, when I first saw this figure, was the smiley face isn't actually on the badge right there. And I was talking to Shartimus, and he said that it came out of the package like that. So I'm pretty sure that they all come like that. It's probably a little difficult to paint that smiley face on there, and probably a little bit more difficult to copy it exactly from the graphic novel. But I think it looks, it still looks really cool from far away, and you could kind of get in there with an Eye of the Tiger brush and maybe paint in your own smiley face, which is probably pretty cool, which is why they did it. And I'm sure they just figured that their subscribers would just paint their own smiley face. So nowadays you're buying figures and you're doing the work on them yourselves. Gotta love Mattel. But other than that, I think there's some paint shading. It looks like there's some blue mixed in with the legs down here, which kind of blends into the knee pads right here, which you can see a lot of blue dry brushing on. I really like how the legs are set up. When the light hits it, the blue really shines. It looks really nice. There is no paint shading on the upper part of the torso, though. It looks like it's just a plain black. But you got a lot of stuff going on here. You got the shoulder pads, and the shoulder pads look to be a little battle damaged too, which is really cool. I like that fact. And you could probably get in there with some silver dry brush and put some, scorch marks on there or whatever if you're so inclined. You're already going to be painting the badge, so you might as well get in there with some silver and hit that side up. But you can see the face here. The face is really nicely sculpted. Definitely graphic novel accurate, or comic book accurate. See the scar running down his face, and really good range of motion too on the head. You can make him look down, you can make him look pretty far up. I think it's a really well put together figure. It's got a good flow, but not anything too different than what we've seen with the DC Universe Classics figures over the years. But the sculpt is up to par. I really like how they look with the set, and overall I think it's just a really cool figure. If you're a big Watchmen fan, you definitely want to grab this. As far as articulation goes, like I said, there's not really too much going on. Got a diaphragm joint, the head joint, got the upper shoulder joint right here, 360-degree turn right there. Bicep swivel, one point at the elbow. Of course, you got a piece of articulation at the wrist. And then you go down into the waist, which turns 360 degrees. But it's kind of stopped by this his belt right here. It doesn't look like this is removable. So that kind of sucks. You can't really move him too much without, bending this plastic right here. So that kind of sucks. But I mean, you can still get him in all the poses you would like to get him in, as far as him having the flamethrower or the shotgun. Let me put the shotgun in his hand so you guys get a good idea of what he looks with the shotgun. It looks really cool. So yeah, and you go into the legs, standard DC Universe articulation. Piece of articulation above the knee, and I like how they cut the piece of articulation through the knee pad. You can see there's the lines going through it, so it kind of actually blends in with it, which is a really nice touch. I like that. You go into the boots, which don't have the blue. Well, it looks like they actually do have some of the blue around the ankle right there, which was really nice. And you continued on this side, you'll see a knife in his boot, because you'll never catch the comedian off guard, which is awesome. So overall, I think it's a really solid figure. One of my favorite characters from the graphic novel. Definitely very crazy. So if you guys are big Watchmen fans, if you guys are big comedian fans, if you guys are fans of the graphic novel, the movie, whatever it is, this is definitely one of the better figures out there for him. And you can also check out the Rorschach. And they come out with Ozymandias, Dr. Manhattan, Silk Spectre, Night Owl, all of them. So this is Century Productions. Thanks to Shartimus Prime for letting me use this figure to review. And I hope you guys have a good one. Peace.
The video is over. Subscribe, damn it.